Hello everyone, I am Julian Morris with the Channel 5 News. In the headlines, a boat explosion kills one man in Marigot. Fri21stSept2k18 defers this year's Creole in the Park to focus on restoring service to customers, and $2 million for ICT development in secondary schools. The details coming up.
At Millennium Freight Services, we offer a wide range of shipping solutions. Internet shoppers sign up for your free U.S. address with AirPost. And with AirPost warranty in return, you can count on peace of mind for all your pieces. Shipping to and from anywhere around the world, from large containerized cargo to smaller packages with Liat Cargo and UPS. Shipping from Trinidad, Logistics International's got you covered. Avoid the port with our customs clearance and optional home delivery services. Ask about our packing services. We make moving easy. MFS, your one-stop shipping solutions company.
M&J Covering is the producer of designed galvanized and galvalume in Dominica. They design to your specifications, color and length, 4 styles of galvanized and galvalume pre-painted roofing sheets as requested, and supply all your galvalume accessories. M&J Covering helps you control spending and reduce waste. At M&J Covering, they are also equipped to build your roof to precise standards anywhere on island. So come to M&J Covering at 1 Mile in Portsmouth or call 445-5001 275-5003 today.
First up in the news, some sad news. One man from Marigot is reportedly dead after his boat reportedly exploded at the fisheries complex there on Friday. MP for Marigot, Honorable Lennox Linton, told DBS News the victim of that accident was Ruford Joseph. No further details about the victim at this time, but we are told he was burned to death. At news time, there was no official police report on that incident. Police are awaiting a report from the district. In more important news, Fri21stSept2k18 has decided to defer the staging of the company's flagship Creole in the Park event this year. The company believes its priority must be to remain focused on restoring service to all its customers across the country. General Manager Jeffrey Baptiste is quoted in a press release as saying, "We have had quite a few setbacks in completing our new state-of-the-art network build-out, service restoration, and launching of new products and services, including fiber to the home and IPTV." Baptiste says it was a difficult decision to make, as we are quite aware of the importance of Flo's Creole in the Park event to Dominica. But he says we also have an unwavering commitment to our customers and must make them a priority at this time. Mr. Baptiste says the company's goal is to fulfill commitments to customers, to provide super-fast broadband connections, and to launch a superior television product in the market. The company has apologized to all affected by this decision and says it remains committed to playing its part in the rebuilding process post-Hurricane Maria. The 4-day event, Creole in the Park, is a much-anticipated event, especially in this year of Dominica's 40th anniversary of independence. Almost $2 million invested in developing ICT in secondary schools.
Each of the 15 secondary schools around the country received ICT equipment on Friday. Assistant Chief Education Officer Dr. Jeffrey Blaise says the equipment will be useful in preparing students to utilize CXC's e-testing platform for future exams.
The government of Dominica has invested well over $1 million, exactly $1.8 million in ICT and related equipment for secondary schools. And this is an investment in education. Today, we are going to be distributing such equipment to the secondary schools, primarily with the hope of assisting students in their learning, more specifically CSEC preparation, but also to facilitate the online examination platform that we expect students to be utilizing now and in the future.
The equipment includes desktops, routers, and 480 nano laptops. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Chandler Hyacinth, says technology is changing the teaching and learning methods in the classroom, and Dominica must keep up with the times.
As we move through the 21st century, technology in the classroom is becoming more and more predominant. Tablets are, to some extent, replacing or at least substituting for our textbooks. We can research just about anything that we want on our smartphones. Educators are seeing firsthand the benefit of technology in the classroom. And we have also recognized the importance of developing technological skills in our students.
The PS says the move towards incorporating more ICT in the classrooms is also keeping in line with regional developments.
Our focus on ICT at the local level is not in isolation. Over the past 2 years, the Caribbean Examination Council has shifted much of its testing to an online platform. And while this initiative is in its teething phase, it is sure to become more and more part of the testing culture in the Caribbean. CXC saw this as an innovative way to accelerate their learning and assessment objectives while keeping pace with the current global testing trends.
Dominica's ambassador at large for education says things are looking positive in terms of filling the void left behind by the departure of Ross University.
Dr. Donald Peters, who is also president of the Dominica State College, was appointed ambassador at large for education by Prime Minister Skerrit in June. Currently, Peters is working directly with the Prime Minister's office on a solution to the Ross University matter. Ross University's School of Medicine, which had operated in Dominica for 40 years, announced its departure from the country's shores in August.
Currently, I work on policy issues for them, and currently my major responsibility is working with the Prime Minister's office to replace Ross. That's our major thrust at this point. So we are developing an RFP to attract another tenant for the Ross University. So I'm working on that. I'm preoccupied with that mission because that's a significant loss for us in the north, and I think the government putting all the stops in place so that they can boost the economy by getting a replacement for Ross University. And there are a number of options that we look at, but we'll try to get it done as quickly as possible.
Upon his appointment, Peters was primarily charged with the task of negotiating better opportunities at United States universities for young Dominicans. Peters says that aspect of his portfolio is bearing fruit also.
One of the things that the Prime Minister wants me to do is to find colleges and universities that's compatible with ours, who's willing to take our students, again in technical, vocational, engineering, supply side management, areas that our students will normally do. And I'm doing that. Currently, the new university I'm working with is Florida A&M, which is in Tallahassee, and I think I have to meet with them sometime next week. So we'd have a seamless transfer of students from there to FAMU to doing agriculture, engineering mostly. These are the two areas we want.
The ambassador says he is currently working on a project that will reduce the amount of money spent on training Dominican youth overseas while retaining the human resource capacity of skilled individuals.
We have to be consistent in putting our plans together for nation building. And currently I'm preparing a document for the government that will use the college to train most people, which would reduce the cost of sending people overseas. In other words, by 2020, Dominica State College should be offering all the degrees in liberal arts: English, biology, chemistry, physics, education, nursing, where we already have nursing and education.
The Dominica Association of Industry and Commerce is reporting a 10% loss of membership 1 year after Hurricane Maria.
Executive Director of the DAIC, Lizra Fabian, says while the entire private sector faced numerous challenges bouncing back from the hurricane, some have been forced to shut down while others are operating at varying levels of productivity. She notes, though, that Hurricane Maria has provided the opportunity for several new businesses in the country.
Well, the business community, there are different realities. There are some companies who've improved much better than even how they were before Maria. There are some a lot who are still struggling, not just some, but many businesses are still struggling. And there are some who unfortunately have closed their doors because of the massive destruction to their companies and the ripple effect. This is really saddening for private sector, as businesses have to close their doors, but we also see some opportunities and some businesses really improving. I think most businesses, if not all, have struggled over the past months to really come back to a sense of normalcy, to clean up, to try and get customers to come back through their doors, to pay employees.
According to a survey of DAIC members last year, the damage to infrastructure was in excess of $50 million. The value of damage to assets was over $200 million. Disruption to products and services offered exceeds $28 million per month, and the value of secondary losses over $20 million. She says the DAIC has put plans in place to help develop resilience in the private sector.
Well, after we did our survey to really understand how our private sector was affected, we got information from our businesses that helped to inform how we could represent them better. In February, we had our Business Recovery Expo, which was really successful based on the feedback from the businesses. And a spin-off from that was our Business Continuity Planning Workshop. In preparation for Hurricane Isaac, we also reached out to our businesses, not just our members, but other businesses in Dominica, to share with them a business continuity planning checklist, things that they should pay attention to so that in case a disaster comes, what measures they need to take, such as backing up data, storage of important documents, printing of certain documents that's important and storing it in a container that will protect it from water or other possible hazards. And this we saw really helped our businesses.
Fabian says, moving forward, the DAIC continues to advise its members to be more aware of their insurance policies, as some were not pleased with the payout after the hurricane.
Okay, so we continue to encourage our businesses to be insured, not just to be insured, but to be adequately insured. And we saw that post-Hurricane Maria, many businesses were underinsured, and even in claiming, in submitting their claims, they did not get as much money as they intended or they expected to get. So we really encourage our businesses to understand the terms of the insurance policy, read it carefully, and what we want to be insured for, we make sure that we speak to our agents, ensure that we are getting what we want to be covered for.
And the Dominica Dementia Foundation is seeking to join the global dementia movement by launching what's called the Dementia Friends program. That program was due to be launched on Friday afternoon. The Dementia Friends program is a way of understanding dementia, or as a refresher tool for individuals already acquainted with the basis of dementia. Friday's launch would have coincided with Alzheimer's Day on September 21. Statistics show that over 328,000 people in the Caribbean are already living with dementia. That number is expected to triple by 2050. That would make the Caribbean the second highest in terms of the prevalence of dementia among people 60 years and older. On Thursday, Health Minister Kenneth Darrow was inducted into the Dementia Friends Dominica program. He received a certificate of recognition from the founder of the organization, Rihanna Patterson. You are watching Channel 5 News. We'll have more news after this.
Si ou ni maladie HIV et bien maladie sexuelle, si ou pas protéger corps là ou kane sexe avec plusieurs monde, ça kay mette la vie ou en gros danger. Ou ka expose tout partenaire au poison et que ça qui ka vini avec maladie. Servi yon condom chaque fois ou kane sexe. Changer qui est important pour découvrir maladie à bonheur ou ça vivre en bonne santé même si ou ni maladie HIV. Pour responsabilité, protéger corps et puis les autres. Examiner corps. Aider du bout si même maladie HIV et l'autre maladie sexuelle.
Thank you for staying with us. This week, Dominicans acknowledged in a bittersweet way the impact of Hurricane Maria's devastation on the country. The United Workers' Party held a special gathering in that regard. Senator Monel Williams, John Baptist, says a number of lessons were learned, including gratitude for all the assistance received from around the world.
But we are thankful in the West Coast zone that we lost no lives during the passage of Maria. We remember the outpouring of love and support from our brothers and sisters overseas, from every Caribbean country, from the world. 1 year later, we are still very grateful. This once confused with the Dominican Republic, Whitey Kubuli, got international recognition for once. In our time of loss and grief and need, we saw an outpouring of love from persons who had never even known us. But the lesson of love that Maria taught, the lesson of togetherness and being each other's keeper, was quickly lost as greed and partisan politics infiltrated, contaminating the newness and the possibilities that Maria presented. In the West Coast zones, like around Dominica, we heard the frustrated plea of persons bypassed and slighted with relief items because of their political leaning. Nature has bounced back in all its beauty, and the West Coast zone records the bountiful yield from farms in the Cahome and Layo Valley area, in Warner, Campbell, Syndicate, and Salisbury Heights.
Sensitization workshops for customs and the Ministry of Agriculture officials to form part of Pesticide Awareness Week, which starts here on Monday. This year, the theme chosen by the coordinating groups of pesticide control boards of the Caribbean is Increase Food Safety, Reduce Dependency on Pesticide, Adopt Integrated Pest Management. Other activities planned for this year's observance include radio and TV discussions and the school outreach program. Students from selected primary and secondary schools will be sensitized on pesticide management, integrated pest management, and food safety. This year's activities will run from the 24th to the 28th of September. And the supplementary estimates into the millions of dollars debated in Parliament this week is an indicator of government's continued provision of housing and other post-Maria assistance to Dominicans. But there has been a call for greater urgency in providing post-Maria assistance to those who need it. MP for Roseau South, Joshua Francis, spoke to that issue during his party's observance of Hurricane Maria's first anniversary this week.
In the Roseau North constituency, the parliamentary representative, the Honorable Danny Luge, submitted over 300 requisite forms in quest to obtain assistance for his constituents, and to date, not one positive response. Brothers and sisters, we can do better than that. We still have several constituents living in hurricane shelters. At Newtown, as an example, we have people living at the basement of the Fatima Church. At Eggleston, we still have a gentleman at the hurricane shelter in Bapa State and other areas in our zone. We know that many of our brothers and sisters did not have insurance coverage. They don't have the money in the bank, and as such, they are expecting assistance from the government of Dominica. I'm asking those in power and those who can assist to reach out and provide more assistance to those in need. Moving forward, we are hoping that those who are in such despair will in fact get the much needed assistance. Quickly, I also want to comment on our economic base. In Roseau South, as an example, we saw the closure of Anchorage Hotel, Bello, Evergreen, and some other businesses, and these businesses have not been able to recover thus far. We are hoping that the government of Dominica will see it fit to sit with these proprietors, find out what are their needs, and to assist them to get back into business. Getting back into business means creation of jobs. It means that families can find their ways, because there are still many families who are not only under tarpaulin, but their children are unemployed and they have no steady source of income.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, galvanized and fence pipe. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
To end the news, a look again at the headlines. A boat explosion kills one man in Marigot. Flo Dominica defers this year's Creole in the Park to focus on restoring service to its customers. And $2 million for ICT development in secondary schools. Feel free to contact us at news@marpin2k4.com. You can access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the production team, I am Julian Morris. Thank you for watching. Do have a good weekend.